So I recorded a hour long. I can't. Anyway, I recorded a few times actually, but like each one was like 2 seconds or 2 minutes. I was on my phone. It didn't save. Now and then I recorded one on my phone through YouTube. That was for an hour, and that didn't even take, which pisses me off. But you know what? That's fine because I tend to be long winded, and to be honest, you didn't really have to get the whole. You didn't really you didn't yeah. Nobody wanted to hear all that. So yeah, it would have been fine if had they heard some of the stuff because it would have made sense for other things. But it's completely fine. Let me get to the point. I am having to start over in my life. Um, I've been there before. I was younger and I had to kind of like start new. I was in a whole new state. Um, only had a bag of clothes. Um, Started working at the company that I was working for before I left from up north, and worked my way up to management there, along with going to school. I was in college, and then during that time, I was working two jobs. I had my own place after a year. I got help with my first car, um, and then I began paying all my bills and stuff. I got help with my second car because that first car had kind of, got messed up like the second year because it was a used car anyway, and I didn't know how to pick out cars. So then I had got a kind of not really new car, but anyway, um, I got help with that uh, for my mom with my first new car, and then once that happened, like I said, I was living on my own, so I paid my own bills. Other than that, and then um, I was working two jobs during that time too. There were different times that I fell along the way, of course, because I didn't know about how to pay. I knew how to pay my own bills, but not like that to the level of I was only 20 years old, and I was paying my own rent, my own lights, my own uh, car. Well, not my own car, my own insurance. I had to have more than one kind of insurance. That's another important thing to learn in life. Some of us don't know about. Um, I had to, of course, the groceries. I couldn't go too crazy with that. I had to be on a budget with that. I wasn't making a lot of money either, so things happened along the way. And then as I got older, a few years later, maybe a little more than a few, I lost that job. Some things happened. I ended up on disability for a little bit of time, and then when I got back, I wasn't all the way right because while I was on disability, I didn't realize that I had another issue going on mentally, and I didn't know that that's what was like really getting to me. So I was dealing with depression and anxiety, and I had been dealing with that for years and didn't know it. So it was about awareness. Like that's not something that people are really acknowledging in our community, that a lot of us are dealing with that. They take it as you're stupid or you're retarded or you can't do other things. Um, with every issue that a person has, that doesn't make them like where they can't do other things. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking to somebody who has, and the two companies she's worked for long term at that, has worked her way, has cross trained with each company, has worked her way up to management, has owned her own business. I mean, not saying I'm anything special, but I'm just saying, like, and I have depression and anxiety. So I guess where I'm coming from with that is that don't let somebody tell you you can't do something, or excuse my hair, but listen, fine. Anyway, don't let somebody tell you that you can't do something or that because this happened to you you can't do that. Like, listen, if you're trying to do something for the better, then keep going with it and get the right people around you. Now, sometimes people may tell you that because they may feel like you can use some more help in another area. If that's why they're doing it, then that's okay. Sometimes somebody's trying to correct you with something because you're not doing something good. If that's what's going on, that's okay too, you know. But it just all depends on where the person is coming from and what part they play in your life, you know. and if they really are in your life, and if that person actually really knows you too. Because sometimes people think they know you and they really don't. They going based off what they got going on in their life and what they have done or what they have experienced, and they just assume that you're the same. And none of us are the same. Okay, so for those of you who have been judged, whether it's been in a courtroom, whether it's been around your peers, whether it's been at a job, whether it's been by your family, for those of you who feel like you don't have a support system, understand that I felt that way in different areas in my life as well. And what I learned along the way is that the most important support that I can have is myself. And I do lean on God to help me along the way with that. But like I said, it's important that I have I'm in tune with what works for me, what makes me happy, what I'm good at. It's good to have those every morning to be thankful that you're waking up, but also to find out every morning like what am I good at? Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, that's cool. Because you're good at more than one thing. Remind yourself what you're good at every morning. Remind yourself what you're trying to do. Remind yourself of your goals. I've always been goal oriented. That's always been, even when I wasn't doing that great in school, like I always was goal oriented. It's just that school wasn't my thing and I had a little learning curve and didn't know it. And my learning curve was that, like I said, I've dealt with some other things in life, so I didn't know that I couldn't focus because of other things. And some of it was just pure laziness, okay? Some of it was just because I was just a little bit of a clown sometimes. So it wasn't always, just, oh, I got things going on. Sometimes it was just me not being mature, point blank and period. And as you go on in life and grow up, you're going to realize that you're always ignorant to something. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. But let me tell you something. It's really not. I guess bliss is like, let me look it up real quick, bro. I should have been doing this prepared for this. Perfect happiness. Great and joy. I don't know. Ignorance is not. They say ignorance is bliss. I don't really view ignorance as being perfect. Maybe someone happy because they're not aware of what's really up. But to me, knowledge is power. Now I do go by that one. I've always been into reading and learning things. May not have been into. What it was is it's not that I wasn't into school. I just learned different. Now it's a lot of people out there that do learn different. It's a lot of us that learn with hands-on training. So speaking of learning in general and just life in general, I had some setbacks. I had to lose my business, my job, all of this stuff. And this was while I was on disability anyway, so the business had to slow down because I was on disability. But as for the job, I lost that sort of kind of because I was on disability for too long, and I was still waiting on results from disability. So, things were happening, they couldn't hold my position. And it sucks, because I really worked hard to be in that company. But we all work hard for something, and sometimes it doesn't continue for us, and that is just sometimes that's what it is. And instead of me, I mean, don't get me wrong, it did depress me really badly, it really messed me up some. But I have been through worse, so all that I'm doing is being thankful for what I can do, trying to do things that I can do, and then accepting the things that I can't and praying about them, and then asking for the wisdom to know the difference. That's the serenity prayer, by the way. But that's what I'm practicing. So, in the process of me focusing on what I can change, because some days is a little bit harder than others, I learned that there was and I'm resourceful, and that's going to be part of my future business, actually. But I learned that there's this program that I found down south, and it's in the city I'm in, and there's some people I met in the city who they didn't get to see me from like where I started. They just saw that, oh, this shit got a nice car, she got a nice place. Now they didn't really know about my place like that, but I'm sure, they talk down here just like they talk up there, okay? So she got a nice car, she always had a nice place, like, and the car that I got, that I had 2 years ago, well, actually really just, it was just about a year ago, up until about a year ago. But the car that I had, I miss my baby. I'm gonna just tell you real quick. Oh, I miss my baby. Like, oh my goodness, a 2013 limited Hyundai Sonata, like that. Ooh, baby. So that was my that was my baby right there. Okay. And it was really because of sentimental reasons. Like, I earned it. I got my credit right. I was getting ready to start. My business was, just starting, and I was actually making good connections with that. Um, I was hopefully gonna be buying either a storefront um, or just continuing it online. But I was gonna be buying a house and then going from, having a portion of my house like dedicated to my business where I ship out things and stuff, and then grow from there. Like, I had a game plan. I always do, and I never have just one. And I'm innovative. So um, I had a game plan, and I was doing all right with it, and I really wasn't leaning on too many people for it. Like, I had resources, you have to have resources and stuff like that. But when it comes to like the um, the drive to do it and an actual plan, oh, I was with it. I had it. I really had it. You know what I'm saying? And I had the support of my job in certain ways where, they taught me about health, and then I took some health classes in school, in college. And then they taught me about how important that is, and that's ultimately what I learned. Like, I had to take time off work because my grandmother passed away. I couldn't handle it. It triggered my anxiety and depression really bad. Um, I started going back to therapy a little bit before she passed because I had gotten into a bad accident, and that was just that messed me up too. Of course, physically, but it also messed me up mentally as well. The car I had during that accident, that was like the car that I got help with, you know. So it was time to get a new one anyway, but I wasn't really ready yet, Like, it wasn't time. I wasn't really ready. But my credit was good, so that helped me get the car that I got next, that I was just talking about, and that car was great. And honestly, initially, I didn't want to get no flashy car, but to be honest, at that moment, I was kind of in a position to where I could have got something like that, and it was flashy, but it wasn't that expensive. Remember, I said it was a Hyundai Sonata, so it wasn't like really, really, really expensive. Um, but at the same time, I could have probably, I ain't had the house yet. To me, that's, and no offense to nobody that is, but that's a little hood rich. Like, you get the house first, baby. So anyway, either way, I was on my way. I could have made it work, actually, and you can. So I'm not saying again that I'm just saying that in the aspect of that's how people would have viewed it. But had they known my whole plan, they would have seen that, oh, okay, like, you wasn't going to just stop at the car. But it's cool. It doesn't matter. Um, you just have to know me to know, and or we'll have that discussion if you reach out to me. So anyway, then my grandmother passed, and that was just like I knew she was sick, and I felt that she wasn't doing good. So that was like getting to me. But I had just got off disability from the car accident, so I didn't really want to uh, take off time while she was visiting, and I did take off the time though, and but I know my job was looking like, okay, this girl work all the time, she always here. Really, they should have been looking at it like, okay, well, you need to break anyway. You know what I'm saying? But again, I had just got off disability, so I didn't know if they understood or not. I still don't know to this day if they really understood. And so my grandmother, she getting ready to go back home. I wanted to spend time with her, so I took her to lunch. We went to the park. I talked to her about Toastmasters because I know how she always wanted me to write because I always was emotional and and talkative. So she said, right, like that's a good way to do it. And she was proud of me because I started wanting to walk because she used to, up until like for the longest, she would go to this park by her house and go running and jogging every morning. Like, this woman was what, over 50 doing that, and then going to visit friends in nursing homes, and then writing to people, and like, she was very lively. Okay, she was a very lively woman. She made friends whenever she went somewhere. She got to travel a little bit before she passed. Like, she lived it up, and I'm in acceptance with it. Usually when I bring her up, I cry. For the past 2 weeks, I've been recording just my voice on a podcast platform, but I didn't share it. And I realized that I don't want to. It was more for therapy. I was about to start a podcast. That's really where it came from, because I really don't want anybody looking at my mug. I need some makeup right now. I can get my hair done. Like, my face breaking out because I'm detoxing. So I'm trying to drink more water, like get all the toxins out of my body. I'm trying to lose my stomach fat. Like, I just don't feel, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really feel that cute. Like, and I just woke up. Like, you know, but my teeth is clean. I'm clean. And I'm trying to give you a message. I ain't trying to really look cute for you, okay? You can go somewhere else for that. So my point is, sorry. My point is that stuff got me down. That stuff that happened in my life, it broke me down. And when I moved here, I was already broken down. That's how, I had kind of like my anxiety and depression was at a height too. I was in a new place. I didn't have, I had some support, but not, I needed a little more than that, And I was appreciative of the support that I did have, but I didn't know how to use it as well. I was still dealing with things that they really could have helped me with. And the resources that I needed, they were kind of far-fetched. So, as I worked my way along, I still worked through it. What I learned is that I became a workaholic. And that was because, excuse me, that's where I put in some work and got something back from. I noticed that, okay, well, I get something out of this. I'm able to excel with this. I'm good at this. But also, I'm dealing with a lot, and I don't know how else to deal with it. So that's how I dealt with it. I worked. And so other things happen, like I said, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to try to get to the point because I'm going to make this a whole nother hour, and I'm not about to do it. So recently, I found a program. Kind of something that I would love to start, but there's a lot of businesses I want to be invested in some kind of way. And that'll lead to what I'm going to be offering, which is a consulting business. I'm going to be starting one, and I have a few people who are waiting for me to get it started, like, because they know I'm about ready. Like, I'm already been doing the work. I've already been helping people and giving them resources, connecting them to certain people, making sure that they are connected and that they're good. I've already been helping people, even when I was sick. Like, I was really like, or sick, dealing with the depression and stuff. But still, that is sick. So what I'm saying, even while I was sick, I've been helping people. That's just natural for me. That's how I keep my mind going. So along the way, through experiences, I was homeless at one point. I was living in my car at one point, and other things. I learned that there are so many resources in the city that I'm in. And if you work hard, you can get your stuff back right. Now, I am still in the process of getting back to where I want to be, but my health had to come first. And that's what I neglected all of these years, my health. So by me neglecting my health, my mental health, even at one point, I wasn't eating right. Like, I was eating McDonald's almost every day. And then, like, it's just other things. Like, I just was neglecting my health because I didn't think I deserved it. I thought that, listen, I got to live, I got to survive. I got things that I need to do. I got bills to pay. Like right now, I got bills to pay. I'm about to take a free course that's going to take about a few weeks. That's going to take, I might not be, working yet, but it's going to actually help me get back to work. It's going to be a bridge in case I don't get hired back before the time that I start this course. So that's fine. I'm willing to do that if it's going to give me something that's going to allow me to, now that I have the experience, also show on paper that, oh yeah, she really do got it. You know what I'm saying? If that's what I got to do, that's fine. I'll do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I know that I have the skills, and if I have to do something that's going to help me along the way to get back to a place where I have, good benefits and retirement plan and things like that, yeah, I'm going to do it. Now, again, I still want to do this business on the side because it's going to help other people do the same thing, right? Whether it's for their own company or whether it's for, which is still very, very much my ideal thing too. But I also want to incorporate, the main thing would be is still having a career, And I'm not saying entrepreneurship is not a career. But what I am saying is that in order to fund that career, you're going to need something else, right? Okay. Well, that's how I started it. So I feel like I am having to go at what I've already accomplished in life right now because I didn't share that journey with nobody before. I didn't share that I worked hard for what I got. So the new people didn't know that I've been working for this. And then the old people didn't know that, oh no, I already accomplished that. I don't really care what nobody thinks, but I guess if I'm gonna try to start this whole brand thing, I probably should explain. Just like when I had Curvy Bella, which was my plus size clothing company. You know, I started that because I was at growing up. I've always been a heavy set girl. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a heavy set woman, and um, I didn't really have a lot of people that were immediate in my family that were heavy. So when it came to me shopping, either the clothes that I got were ridiculously pricey, but I'm a bargain shopper, so that worked out, and they had good like sales, so that helped. Or it was cheaper stuff, but it was like not really flattering to my shape. Or the stuff that was expensive was like older looking, like it wasn't, you know. So that was one of the issues, and then just in general, like nothing, you know, like I said, affordable, or it just, my style wasn't out there, you know. This isn't even really fully my style, you know what I'm saying? And I have different styles. So I wanted to kind of start doing that, you know, and I wanted to empower women, bigger women, to feel good about themselves and the skin that they're in. So that's where that started. Then there was a few businesses actually that I have plans for and that I'd like to do, but then there's some others that I'd like to be a part of, you know, that I see that people can do. So what I really like to do now is basically create some bosses. I know how to groom them. Give me a percentage and let me groom them. Let me get you going. Let me help you grow, and let me keep it constant for you. Let's make it long term for you and your family. I'm very capable, so that's where I'm going with this. Um, Now, part of it is resourcing them to people who are already experts in certain areas. But the other part is where I come in, that nobody can steal from me because people have already tried that in different areas. Um, that's where you can't you unless you're gonna take my brain and you still won't get it. You're not gonna. It's just not gonna work. Okay, so that's where I come in at, is I'm not only the plug to it to link those things, which I've always been the link for a lot of things, the glue, but also, like I said, I'm innovative. So I've helped corporations grow. I've helped teams grow. That's not new to me. But knowing how to do that and knowing how to market and other things, like the skill sets that I have and the creativity that I have, being into art when I was younger and then liking business when I got older, and then mixing those things, that's going to help a lot when trying to grow bosses, when trying to help somebody enhance their life and start over. They might not want to be an entrepreneur. They might just want to get in a career period and work for a good company. That's fine. I can help you with that too. Anyone that's trying to rehabilitate their life, they just gone through some things and they down on their luck and they just need some help getting, redirected to the right things. I'm good at that. Like, it's a lot I'm good at. So I want to use all my skills to help people grow, and they can either pay me to help them along the way, or they can, give me a percentage and I continue to help them long term. Either way, I want to do that, but it starts with me. So as I'm starting over, the blessing in me starting over is this time I get to share it with people because I'm not shy about it. I've already been, asking different people to help me in different areas, and some of them are like, "Cool, like this is what you got to do," or "Hey, like how do you do this?" And then we're sharing knowledge, and that's what I like. And hopefully soon we'll be sharing money too. We'll be sending people to each other based on our skills, and that'll be happening. And then that'll be really great. I can't wait for that. But in the meantime, just sharing skills is amazing because that's gonna help us both grow. Sharing resources is amazing. So understand that it's good to make sure that you are doing for others what you want done too. You know what I'm saying? Um, because that's how the world grows. That's how the world go around. That's how these other communities that are doing great are able to do it, because they're not being selfish about at least the knowledge. If you can't afford to do something for somebody because that's your bread and butter, and you can't do a little bit of philanthropy mixed in with getting your bread and butter, understood it. I understand that. You might still be building, and you can't do it. I get that, but I don't know. Sometimes people doing it because they don't want to see other people win, and that if it's for that reason, I don't understand it. Because at the end of the day, we all have different things to offer. So unless that person is trying to personally do something to you, you know what I'm saying? That's negative. There's nothing wrong with uplifting one another, even if it's kind words, even if it's a resource. Again, you don't have to offer your time if you're not, but something as simple as a resource. Someone gave me this place to go to in the past, and I didn't have the right website, so I didn't know the right where it was. And then now, someone gave me the correct one, and as soon as I found out about it, I called about it, and I saw what they were offering, and I was like, "This is perfect. Like, I need this right now." You know, just in case this other thing doesn't fall through. You know, so it's good. It's gonna help. Um, it is going to network me with, like I said, it's job placement after you take 3 courses to get a certificate. Hello. I mean, if you're into art or you have an entrepreneur spirit, you don't need me to say too much to understand how important that is and how fruitful that will be. Okay? All you need to know is, do I have the time to do it? That's all you need to know. And if you don't got the time now, it's all year round. Okay? So what they do is they offer like office skills. They also offer skills that train you to be certified. That's certified for office skills. Then it's to be certified as well for um, working in highway and trade, highway construction and trade academy. So kind of like construction and building. Okay, so office or building skills. And then lastly, they have 4. They have about 5, but I only have 3 connected to this. So I would, like I said, reach out if you're interested. But then the last one is that they'll certify you in like cabling, so like connected cable or electric stuff. So you can eventually get in with a company that's going to, you'll have the basic skills to be some sort of, yeah, connected cable, right? Or maybe just learning electric stuff. But then you can get in a company that will probably send you to school to be an electrician, which is going to make you even more. But not only that, you already done got kicked off with something that's free, that's going to help you make a decent amount with benefits. Thinking about the highway construction, just in general, construction, they make a lot of money. So if you're going to take a free course that's going to help you get a job in a company that's going to send you to school for free to continue that, you know what I'm saying? You follow me? And same thing with the office. So that's where I was going with that. That's all I'm saying. Um, and they help people from all different backgrounds. This is an urban thing, just so you know. So I'm very proud of this company already. Like I like what they got going on. I think that's pretty cool because that's kind of what I'm about, you know. But still, I just want to say that you know, I'm back to sharing this journey. That's ultimately what I'm getting at. You know, I'll be a little shy when it comes to on the camera thing, but I don't really mind it if my message is gonna get across. So I'll do it for that reason. And so that's why I'm recording this. Um, I want to see other people win, and if it's that, basically, to me, everything has a lesson or a blessing or both. So with that said, if my lessons, if all of this stuff happened in my life for me to be able to show people how I got it done or how I got some of the things that they saw I had, then that's fine. I'm gonna show you how I got it. First off is I worked hard. Period. That was like the basis of how I got anything that I got in life. I worked hard. Period. Try. Period. That's show up. Learn. Be open to that. Even if you think you know what you're doing, open to still learning. Like this class I'm about to take, I can teach this class more than likely, but I bet you I'm still gonna learn something from it. I don't know everything. Be humble. That's all. So again, I really just recorded this to say that to say that you know, it's rough starting over. I paid my dues technically, okay, and I got bills to pay, but and I got people depending on me. But if I have to show how the process is, I do trust the process, and I know that it's gonna be fine. So while I'm going through this process again, now you get to see. And again, reach out if you are interested in the courses. But if you know are not where I am, I can find out where the courses are where you are. As a matter of fact, when I'm making my calls this morning, I'm actually going to find out where it is, where I'm back from, where it's located at from back home, because if they don't have one, I already know supply and demand, honey. I'm definitely gonna try to make that work. But I'll reach out to somebody I know that might want to do it too, and I'll partner with them definitely if I can. Um, but this is a perfect thing to do. Like honestly, it is. Um, this should be everywhere. This should be everywhere, and it takes a lot. I know it took them a lot to do this because at the end of the day, not only did you hire teachers who are certified to teach other people to be certified, now you got it's so many components to this. If you really think about it, you know, whenever I think about a business, I think about all the components it takes to run this business. So with that kind of mindset, I already know this is a lot of work. Then you got to have connections at companies that are going to help. Like this is a lot, honey, but it could be done. So I'm gonna see if they got it up there, and if they don't, then I'll figure out something else from there. But I got some people I know that can really benefit from this, and I would like to see them benefit from it and have this opportunity just as much as I do, you know. And these opportunities don't just fall in your lap. You have to want things better for yourself. And sometimes you may be, again, I suffer from depression and anxiety. Some days I don't want to get out of bed. I didn't record something in 2 weeks. Now, I've recorded my voice for therapy of myself. I vented, I cried. On almost every recording, I cried. Because I was talking about things that I'm still trying to get over. One of them is my grandmother passing. It used to be very hard for me to bring that up. It is right at the moment, too. But I'm accepting of the fact that she's just another angel that I had. It's some other people I lost that was hard for me. I cried about that too. Like I just needed to have a powwow with myself. I need to get back in touch with myself, and that's what I was doing. So I took a little break, and appreciate your patience. And I'm sure if you look on my Facebook or my IG, you have no idea that that's what I'm going through, or maybe you will. It just depends on if you know me well or not. But it's okay. I mean, I'm trying not to be so negative in those areas. I'm trying to actually exude positivity and light. Again, I do want people to know the journey, but I don't want to depress anybody or think they can't do it, you know, so I'm not going to show you the downside too much. I'll show you a little piece of it, okay? But I'm not going to keep that going because that's not going to help you or uplift you. You can see some of it, but I need you to see how I overcome it. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm in the process of overcoming it, I might not share that yet. Right now, I'm in the process of overcoming something else, but it's worthy of sharing because I know that this process is going to definitely work. You see what I mean? So that's why I'm sharing this particular portion. Because this is what the resources I'm using right now is really, I already know for a fact it's going to help you. So anything I know is really going to help you is worthy of me sharing. If it's not, and I'm just pissed off or I'm just, you know, depressed or I'm just anxious or I'm just, you know, listen. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not going to do all that to you. But, I just wish everyone blessings and success and all of the positive changes they're trying to make in their life. And I just pray that you find out what your purpose is and you carry it through and you just continue to be strong in any struggles you're facing. And I pray the same for myself too, honestly. So good luck to everyone and thank you for keeping up with me if you choose to, you know, view this video, and if you don't, that's fine too. But if you do choose to, share it with somebody that probably can use it. I'm going to try to, again, share more things that are more knowledge-based or more helpful. So, again, this is my journey, and I wish you the best.